Hey guys, how's it going? Robert Warshak here, and we're going to be doing a Darkmoon Faire full set review. All of the classes will be broken down individually. We waited till all of the cards were released so we could see all of them in a kind of pocket, so we're not just guessing what's coming out. We can actually see what's coming out, and we can get a better kind of review and understanding of the card and where it may fit into a deck. I'll be doing, again, this for every class. This will be the Demon Hunter right here, and let's get it going. All right, first card we've got the Fel Scream Blast, a 1-mana lifesteal. Deal 1 damage to a minion and its neighbors. So we did see the other card that synergizes well with lifesteal. For those of you who haven't, it's this guy here. So lifesteal damages the enemy hero instead of healing you. So we do have a little combos with lifesteal alongside of just using it for also, you know, obviously gaining life. I think this card's really good. I mean, dealing 1 damage to a minion and its neighbors. It's a 1 mana, like deal 3, heal 3, which is pretty insane. There's a lot of decent aggro cards coming out this expansion. Being able to deal with the early game with very efficient spells is quite nice. We're going to be able to get this off a Wand Maker. We're going to be able to get this off the Spellkin if that ever comes back into the Demon Hunter. So this being randomly generated is quite high and is not a bad card. Keep in mind it can only hit minions, so it cannot go face, you know. Limits the ability for Demon Hunters to randomly generate Twin Slices from their Wand Makers, because it adds another 1 drop into the pool. This also works with, so I was talking about this new legendary, right? The lifesteal stuff. And then I was thinking of how you could do even more damage with this guy. Obviously, you have like the Healy Blades and you bump it up and you hit your opponent in the face and you just like win. But what if you use it with the Moarg? And for those of you unfamiliar with the Moarg, it's the 2 mana 2/4. Your spells deal double damage, right? So if you use like Moarg with like Soul Cleaves, it's a 3 mana deal, what would that be, 8 to your opponent and kill 2 minions. So if you Moarg with like Fel Scream Blast, it's a, you know, a 1 mana deal 6 damage and heal you for 6. Or it's a 1 mana deal 6 to your opponent and deal 6 to minions. So pretty good card. I think Moarg may in fact see some Demon Hunter play here. So Fel Blast, very good. Throglaive. Oh, me and Draco were talking about some Demon Hunter cards before one of our Meta Breakers podcasts, and Throw the Glaive definitely was on the list of one of the ones we talked about. It was some sort of glaive being thrown. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion. If it dies, add a temporary copy of this to your hand. It can only add 1 copy, or is it basically echo? I think it just keeps going. If you keep killing minions, the glaive is just gonna keep going. So that's pretty good. Plus the fact that it's 1 mana, it's not like expensive. Like a 1 mana deal 2 is just generally pretty good. And especially if it comes back. And if you're gonna run like Penflingers and shit, and with Uncle Moarg, it's gonna be 4 per minion. Exactly. The Moarg with this card, exactly, Kraken. So you're gonna be able to, for 2, like, the thing is, Moarg is so cheap. I mean, it just seems good. Again, it's reducing or increasing, I should say, the cards in the pool for like Wand Maker and shit. So like, again, Twin Slice is less likely. But I like how they're like printing 1-drop cards that don't involve hitting my opponent consecutively and dominantly in the face every single turn. You know what I mean? Like there's some, this is like, you know, a control card. And one of the things that Demon Hunter doesn't really have right now is it's got like the Soul Fragment Demon Hunter, right? Which is like a control-esque deck, but you're still comboing and bursting your opponent down very fast between like a couple turns. And that's just not my playstyle. So if Demon Hunter can get a more control-oriented build, I'll be interested in playing that a little bit more than I have. A 2 mana 2/3, after you play an Outcast card, gain 1/1. So this guy is a shitty questing explorer, right? This guy's just dog shit. Yeah, this card's just bad. Acrobatics. 3 mana, draw 2 cards. If you play both this turn, draw 2 cards. Wow. 3 mana, draw 2. So worst case, it's an Arcane Intellect. Is Arcane Intellect played? No, just in every mage deck. Okay. So if you happen to play those cards, which I don't see, which, you know, I don't think that's that hard, given that a lot of the Demon Hunter cards are fairly cheap and the builds right now are, yeah, this is everything Glide wanted to be. You're exactly right. Costs less mana than Glide. Can potentially draw the exact same amount of cards as Glide. This seems like a very, very good aggressive style Demon Hunter deck, which we haven't really seen many aggressive Demon Hunters here, have we, chat? So I'm glad aggressive Demon Hunter got some support, because man, oh man, we have not seen any aggressive Demon Hunter. Glad they were able to get a card or two. All right, we got Dreadlord's Bite. A 3-mana 3/2 outcast, deal 1 damage to all enemies. 3-mana 3/2. So it's a fiery war axe, but you need to cast this as an outcast. This is not good if you resurrect weapons, which most Demon Hunters are currently doing with the Horde Pillager. So I don't think it's really bad. I think this is pretty good in Arena. We don't play Arena though, so who the fuck cares? Line Hopper, a 3-mana 3/4, your outcast cards cost 1 less. So we've got a couple of these combo outcast cards. Granted, we did just review on this guy, who after you play an outcast gain 1+1, right? And then this guy, your outcast cards cost 1 less. So we're seeing a lot of outcast synergy here. The problem is there's just not a lot of very powerful outcasts besides our normal like Skull, right? That we're gonna be playing. And the thing about Skull is it's a very expensive card. We're not playing Skull and then we're playing a bunch of other outcasts in the same turn. So in retrospect to like Line Hopper, and then your outcast cards cost 1 less as well, there's not like really cheap ones. So when you play this guy, most of the time you're not playing it immediately. You know what I mean? Like you'd play the outcast cards next turn, and playing a minion in general and getting no value when you play that minion, regardless of how much value you may get. You know, there's no battle cry on this, there's no death rattle, there's no buffing minions. So generally cards like this are not very good. It makes I-Beam cost 0, but I-Beam isn't even currently played. You know what I mean? Like you're putting a card no one plays into your deck to play a card that for the price like isn't that great. Relentless Pursuit. 3 mana, give your hero +4 attack and immune this turn. Is this card, would you play this card in your deck? Probably not. Is it a decent card to randomly generate off stuff like Scoundrel or whatever else, you know, we can generate from Demon Hunter? Probably. I just don't see why you would play this card, but yeah, I just don't see why you'd play this card. I mean, if you even look at like, let's say we're looking at like a face Demon Hunter, like purely face, right? We see Heroic Strike and Warrior, which is a 2-mana deal 4. How often does Demon Hunter swing at minions? Not very often, because they've got stuff like the Mystic. They have stuff like Blade Dance. They have a lot of things that they can do that when they power up their weapon, they just kill stuff based on the attack. They don't necessarily have to attack. And if they do attack, it's normally your opponent's face. Insatiable Fellhound. 3 mana 2/5 demon, taunt, corrupt, gain 1+1 in lifesteal. This card seems pretty fucking nuts. This card seems pretty damn good. Stat wise, a 3 mana 2/5 is already not that bad. Like, worst case, 3 mana 2/5 with taunt. Best case, it's a 3 mana 3/6 with taunt and lifesteal. What is he eating? Is he eating potatoes? Is the Fellhound eating potatoes? Because for those of you who don't play WoW, Fellhounds generally love to eat magic. Like they're magic devourers. So in WoW they'll like remove buffs, they silence, and or they detect stealth people. So I would have liked the art on this to be him eating some sort of magic. Like magic carrots, magic potatoes. I think that would have been really cool. His corrupted looks pretty fucking crazy. Look at this fucking guy. Let's just say apparently the potatoes really worked out for him. Because this guy is fucking yeeting them and skeeting them, boys. 3 mana, 4/3 elemental, corrupt, become a weapon. Everybody basically has decided that this card is good. And I'm gonna have to agree that this card is also good. So, worst case, you play this as a 3 mana 4/3, right? And it's a minion. We've got Zai the Incredible. 5 mana 5/3. Battle cry, copy the left and rightmost minions in your hand. I think generally he's just good. 5 mana 5/3. So stats are lacking, right? Generally stats are lacking. But copy the left and rightmost cards in your hand. The value tool, which I like, it adds for possible combo card, or not combo, OTK decks, right? Because if let's say you're running the lifesteal OTK deck and you want to get more, let's say Moargs, or if you're wanting to get more Soul Cleaves or I-Beams, this is a fantastic way to do that. You know what I mean? Do some hand manipulation, get 2 more combo pieces. That could be incredibly strong. If you're going for value, obviously generating 2 more cards is just good. Will this be played in the more aggressive style Demon Hunter? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Unless, like, let's say you've got some Twin Slices in there, which is a incredible amount of damage you'd be able to add. You could, you know, Twin Slice, and then it moves it to the right so you can guarantee at least 1 mana, 2 damage. But at that point, is that better than just playing, like, a Spellkin for 5 mana? With the possibilities of being able to just get a full value one. Value swing cards like Zeph, DQA, Highlander, Nephrodamus, and Token. Yeah, exactly. This is an incredibly powerful control mechanic for value, or some sort of OTK to get more of your combo pieces. Funky. This is some good stuff, and welcome, Funky. Does it make 2 copies of a card if you only have 1 card in your hand after playing it? It's a good question. Deku's asking the good IQ questions. Copy the left. I would assume it would copy. If you have 1 card, I assume it would copy this same card twice. By the way this card reads, if you have 1 card, you would get 2 more of that 1 card. So you would end up with 3 cards in your hand. I'm gonna cash in on that answer. If I'm wrong, I'm banning another person in chat for giving me the wrong information. Bladed Lady, 6 mana, 6/6 Demon Rush, costs 1 less, or costs 1 if your hero has 6 or more attack. So worst case, she's a 6 mana, 6/6 Rush. Granted, I don't play a shit ton of Demon Hunter, but I'm looking at cards that, like, are in the 6 mana spot. We've got, like, Power of Creation from mages. Some mages now have a new option of getting, you know, 12/12 and Rush. We also have Conjurer's Calling, so that's another thing that we could get off Bladed Lady now. That would be pretty good, because right now, like, getting minions with Rush off people randomly generating spells that then randomly generate minions is kind of bad. It feels bad. But in general, she's just really good. Demon Hunter getting more than 6 attack. We've seen it happen more times than not, chat. Lap for the +5 and hero power gets it to 6. So for 6 mana, you can make her 1. So you'd normally play that on turn 7. So you could play this alongside, because this does take the 1. So you do need that 1 extra. Got a 3 mana 4/1 here. Battle Cry, draw a card. If you play it this turn, give your hero +4 attack. So, Draco, we were talking about this card on the podcast last Sunday. I think he said this card was a high risk, high reward play, right? Because if you get this off, it's insane. We compared it to Mana Feeder, right? Because Mana Feeder is a 4 mana or a 3 mana 2/3 draw a card, because you want a hero power in the same turn, right? And this is a 3 mana 4/1. And then the stats were asked about it, right? Like, do we care about the stats? You know, it really depends who you're playing against, right? If you're playing against a mage, they can spend 2 mana and remove it. But then if they spend 2 mana to remove it, it's like they played a 2 mana minion and traded into it, which basically you got a card out of it. They didn't. So it really just depends. But this is definitely one of those high risk, high reward cards. And I think generally it's going to be better than the Mana Feeder. So I think this card's pretty good. And by high risk, it's not even high risk. It's like some risk, high reward, right? Because you're drawing a card anyway, no matter what. It's just, do you get that +4 attack? The thing is, if Demon Hunters are going to start playing this, in the Demon Hunter mirror, they're going to play the 1 mana deal 1 damage lifesteal card. So then for 1 mana, they're going to be able to kill this and also lifesteal and kill damage other minions. You know what I mean? So if a lot of people play this, we're going to see the other lifesteal 1 drop to counter this card. We've got the Lilliganoth. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, but sure. It looks really cool, chat. 4 mana, 2/6, lifesteal. Your lifesteal damages the enemy hero instead of healing you. So this is a very interesting mechanic we have here. And Harash took the opposing opinion on the podcast, which we talked about this card last week as well. And he said currently there's not enough lifesteal and shit for this to like make sense, right? Because when you play this card, it's completely dead, for example, against like an aggro deck, right? You want your lifesteal to be able to heal you. You don't care about killing your opponent because you just play Healy Blades and then you out heal their damage and then you'll win on board because Demon Hunter's good at that. But in my opinion, this is just a good card to play, right? Like, worst case, it's a 4 mana 2/6, right? And if they attack into this card with anything, they're going to take damage because this itself has lifesteal. So let's say they trade a minion into it or trade 2 minions. It's going at least 1 for 1 and it's doing damage to your opponent's face. If they play a fireball, it at least went 1-for-1, and they had to use a spell on it. Who the fuck plays Fireball? So I think in general, this is just a pretty solid card, like all around. For 4 mana, a 2/6 with lifesteal just seems good. I wish it had Taunt. The hell's wrong with you? This card's already seemingly pretty good. Whether or not it'll see like a lot of play at first, I don't know. But I can guarantee you at some point, this card will be played and it will be very fucking obnoxious. Like 100%. All right, we've got the Renowned Performer. 4 mana, 3/3 rush, death rattle, summon 2, 1/1 assistance with taunt. This seems good. This card seems good. The 4 mana, the rush is what makes this good. If this card didn't have rush, it'd be poo-poo doo-doo. But because this card has rush, oh, we can talk about it. Seems like it'd be pretty good in token, right? Because it summons the 1/1s. It just seems like a nice, cool, cute card. 7 mana expendable performers. Summon 7/1/1 with rush. If they all die this turn, summon 7 more. So people were like going crazy about this card. They're like, oh my god, it's 14 naked cowboys with rush. It's really not that crazy. I mean, it seems good, but gotta remember, let's say your opponent has like you can't trade off all of them. You don't get the value. So let's say they have a 5/5 out, or like a 6/6, and you get 1/1/1 left over. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel good. It's only good when you're behind more than 7/7 in stats on the board. And behind 7/7 in stats is not a good place to be. But the good part about that is it's a comeback mechanic. And token Demon Hunter didn't have a lot of ways to come back once it's lost the board, because the whole point of the deck was to have the board. So when they print cards like this that are, you know, a little bit more cost in mana, we have this ability now to come back in these decks that didn't previously have ways to come back. So even though this may not get all of the value all of the time, I still think it's going to be a good, it's a step in the correct direction for the token Demon Hunter decks. Rob, by the way, you can summon 3, and if they die, you get more. So if you have cards on the, yeah, but do you want to play a 7 mana, generate 3 1/1s, get 3 more 1/1s? I mean, that's just not a good value. Like for 7 mana, you want to do a lot more than that. Wait, doesn't Corrupt activate in hand? It does activate in hand or on board. Corrupt just activates whenever you play the card that costs like any more mana than this card. So in order for Corrupt to activate, you need to cast a 4 mana card or more. So if this is in your hand, I thought Corrupt only triggered in hand. I thought Corrupt triggers on board. Here, let's look at the Corrupt mechanic. Did I lie to you guys? Upgrades in hand after you play a card that costs more. All right, I fucking lied to you, chat. No one saw that. This changes everything. No, nothing changes, chat. I never lied to you. I would never not read a card. Chat, this never happened. Corrupt only works in hand, chat. What are you telling? It doesn't work on the board. It doesn't work on the board. Who said that? No one said this, chat. Y'all are fucking drunk. Ban somebody? All right, who said that? Who fucking said that? Please raise your hand. Who told me wrong information? You're getting banned. Blothar? Get out of here, dude. You're fucking banned, bro. Fucking giving me garbage information coming up into my house. You're just telling me, Rob, it works on the battlefield, you idiot. And I'm just like, I know better. I can read. Chat, we've executed. We've had our first execution of the day.